Hello, my name is Jalen or Rosie, and today I wanted to address a concern that might seem remote to many, but has serious implications on animal welfare, public health, and biodiversity, which being the trade in wild-caught reptiles at reptile expos. While expos can be exciting for enthusiasts and the general public, the reality behind some of the animals being sold there is troubling in many respects. Today I will focus on four main issues. The first one being health risks to the animals themselves. The second one being risk of disease spread between animals to humans. The third one is environmental and conservation consequences. And the fourth one is why people choose wild-caught reptiles. So to begin, health and welfare issues. Many wild-caught reptiles arrive at expos already stressed, injured, or psychologically compromised. Capture methods in the wild often involve rough or improper handling, deprivation of food and water, long transport, and exposure to harsh environmental conditions. Once at expos, conditions are often less than ideal. Overcrowding, inadequate temperature, humidity, insufficient enclosure space, lack of hiding spaces, and no access to water are common. A study of reptile expos in Canada found animals kept in plastic containers without space to stretch, lacking hiding places, and often without access to water. The paper Challenges in Evaluating the Impact of the Trade in Amphibians and Reptiles on Wild Populations by Hoover explains that many species taken from the wild are done so without data on whether the level of collection is sustainable, leading to high mortality rates during capture, transport, and early captive life. Disease and risk of spread. Wild-caught reptiles often carry pathogens, parasites, or other diseases, some are zoonotic, which can affect us. The stress of wild capture, transport, and subsequent exposure to poor conditions make disease more likely. When animals are not socialized properly or remain aggressive, they might bite or scratch, shedding those pathogens. Along with this, their waste and habitat contamination can infect other animals or people like us. The Washington State University has information on zoonosis associated with reptiles and amphibians, listing multiple bacterial risks, which is Salmonella, Microbacterium, and E. coli, that are often asymptomatic in reptiles themselves and dangerous to others. Now, conservation and environmental impacts. A trade in wild-caught reptiles is not merely an animal welfare concern, it also threatens wild populations, ecosystems, and biodiversity. The USGS article Challenges in Evaluating the Impact of the Trade in Amphibians and Reptiles in the Wild Populations documents that the volume of animals removed from wild populations is large, and monitoring is weak. Many shipments are not identified to species, making it difficult to track trends or access to sustainability. Wild captures not only reduce population numbers, but the practice of removing animals from their ecosystem can lead to problems like reduced genetic diversity, disruption of ecological rules, and even habitat disturbance due to collection activities. So why do people buy wild-caught animals? It's worth considering why wild-caught animals, specifically reptiles, are still in demand despite these risks. So wild-caught animals are often cheaper than captive-bred animals. They don't have to be socialized, they don't have to be raised, so they don't have to spend that money there. Some buyers want species or morphs that are not available via captive breeding. Buyers may not know the animal is wild-caught or the health or conservation costs. Impulse purchases at expos, enhanced by appealing displays, may lead to uninformed decisions. Studies on expos note that poor knowledge, misinformation, and encouragement of impulse buying are often common. While reptile expos can offer educational and enthusiast value, the trade in wild-caught animals raises some serious concerns. The welfare of the animals, health risks to animals and people, and far-reaching environmental damage. Buyers should educate themselves, asking for proof of captive breeding, health checks, and ask for origin. Reptile expos and vendors should be regulated and enforcing standards for animal welfare, enforcing health checks, and discouraging impulse selling of wild-caught animals. I hope you found this information at least insightful, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you.